All right, guys, welcome back. So I went to locals yesterday, and I took Synchron, dude. Like, it was like a last minute change. I've showed you guys the previous build of Dark Synchron where you implement the allures and the star reflectors, just to give the deck a bit of consistency and filler, just to dig deeper into your deck and be able to like get rid of the excess copies of the darks you have, which is Caligo, Psy-reflector, Chunks, Doppels, you know. But yeah, I took the deck, and last minute I ended up changing it because yeah, I don't know, I just had this thing where I always do that. Like right before the event, I just end up changing a particular build. So let's just get straight into it. Okay, so but first off, triple starter synchron. This is not gonna change anytime soon. We need you know what we need, man. We need starter synchron synchro, so we can use overtake with this guy, because that'll be perfect. That'll be amazing. That'll be so good. And of course, triple junk synchron. This ratio is not gonna change. It's just too good to have him at 3. Like, it's just really good. Hit him off Chaos Ruler more often. Oh yeah, and if you want any of these tokens made, the link is in the description, and use our promo code to get 10% off. It's pretty cool. You can get any token you want, but if you want like the Doppel tokens, there's like different rarities as well. You can get like secret rares, prismatic. It's pretty cool. Okay, so then we go going back to triple Caligo. I was experimenting with just one because you want to search it, but like you just want to hard open this. Like you want you should you're maxing out on the junk synchrons, right? So you want to be able to pair it with this, especially since you have like playing hand traps. So you want to be able to capitalize consistently. So yeah, that's why you max it out. You want your deck to be consistent, and of course you have your triple Doppel, the MVP of the deck that basically allows you to play past Nibiru because you hold it from with a starter synchron tribute token. It's pretty good. And then of course you have your other like silent mining. For those of you that are unaware of what junk converter does, you basically discard a tuner in itself, and you add a synchron from your deck to your hand, and then if you synchro summon with it, you can special summon a tuner from your graveyard, which comes up. It's really good. And then of course one of the recent videos I was discussing which is better, Dawnwalker or the Psy-reflector package. But this weekend I ended up going with the with the Dawnwalker package, because it just like, you don't ever want to open up Psy-reflector and junk synchron or tuning or overdeck. Like, you just never want to see that. Like, it's just really annoying. They're both normal summons, right? And you want to avoid this as much as possible. Like, and then like the discard aspect of what this does is so good, because sometimes you have like a bunch of 2s that you just want in the grave, and this is perfect for that, you know. Yeah, and it just helps you like extend, which is what happened in top 8. It was insane. I'll talk about the matchup later. So Dawnwalker is pretty good. And then of course the new card, the new edition, Destrudo. Oh my god, this guy, I milled this guy up tuning. Oh my god, it saved me so bad. I was like, I need to mill something here, and I milled the Destrudo, and it was pretty good. So you have the Stardust Trail, Fire Ant, and Cyber Synchron. I guess you're not really, I guess kind of your Garnets that you don't want to draw, but they just higher the ceiling just enough. And then of course you have your hand traps, right? I made that triple Nibiru because whenever I go second, I don't want to deal with any like an overwhelming thing, because it's kind of hard to push past like an established board, like a bunch of Omni negates or negates, you know. It's kind of hard to push past that, so you want to be able to just prevent or just be able to just like hinder them enough to like deal with like less interactions. And it just felt right, because especially because you pair it with the Gamma. Like if you pair this with Gamma, it's just so good. Like this stops like the scythe lock from happening, which is kind of annoying. So like the whole this is pretty straightforward. Just open these 2, so whenever you go second, that's the intent, right? Of course, for the odds of that happening are like it varies, right? But that's the main intent. So here's the driver. The Garnet is not good. But yeah, that was the main intent. It worked well, and especially for your turn as well. Like if you go first, it's like if they draw you, or if they ash you, or they like, you know, they shifter you. Like that's kind of annoying. Shifter is really annoying. Then you have this to combat that, which is really good. Like sometimes like people will like, they'll ash the converter pitch, and then because they'll see your hand, they have 3 cards. You're like, oh, I'll just ash this because you left with 3 cards, and then they'll think to themselves like, oh, I have 2 hand traps in my hand. I have ash. I have another one just in case. And the Ash the converter. Okay, you chain this, all right, and then you can either go for the Chaos Holder here, just to bait another Ash, and then keep your hand, you know, because you search the junk synchron, and then if you has a speeder, otherwise it's gonna be like really redundant at that point, you know. So it's like it puts you in a good spot. And then of course you have your searchers, your tuning. It's just consistency, right? Same thing for the Caligo. And then of course you have your synchro overtake. Overtake is just one of the best supports we've gotten. It's just perfect for what it does. It lets you add it from hand, lets you add from deck or grave, special or hand. It's really nice. Then of course you have your one-ofs. You have Rhoda, Fool's Bear. This has way more, much more value now with this should have been legal. Illumination. That new card that might have some pretty cool things with this card. Stardust Worm. And of course Monster Reborn. And this is where I had the main deck like stuff versus like backrow decks, or just pretty much to allow our combos to extend. I ended up main deck in backrow hate because Eldritch is a deck I do not want to lose to. Like, I do not want to lose to Eldritch just because I didn't want to main one of each. And this is so good, man. So many times, the Duster was cool. And the thing about this one as well, because most of you, oh, what if you just hit the Scythe? Well, that's the cool thing about this, right? If you open up this and Gamma, you go Duster, right? And then you trigger the Scythe, and then you can just Gamma the Scythe, you know, and then you just get a free level 8 synchro there. So that's a pretty cool interaction that you can do. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, but it worked pretty well. Really good. And then the side deck, for PK, right? Lancia, and then whenever I went first or second, right? Call by for the Scythe lock, just hit the Scythe, hit DPEs, you know, just hand traps. Same thing with Droplet, just establish boards. I'm able to just clear them. Oh my god, it's so annoying. It's triple Cosmic Cycle, mainly for like Eldritch and Scythe lock, because if you open up multiple, the Scythe lock is gonna die. Because most of the time, whether they chain it or not, they're gonna try to like trigger. They first go Rusty if that's the play. The Rusty try to pop it with a break sword, and then like pop the Scythe, and then you chain this, and then they'll chain DPE, and then you chain another one. So they wasted both their pops to try to pop their own Scythe, whereas you just like, okay, you dealt with 2 interactions while accomplishing the same thing. You know, like it's just really good. And then of course, this is what I was playing. I wasn't sure on the last 3 cards, so I just ended up putting Gravity Collapse because it's basically like, it helps for those hands where like you get dropleted or dark wheelered, and you're like, okay, it's fine. You can dark wheeler my board, but you can't summon for this or turn. So unless you have like Regeki, since it's at 3, you're dead next turn. And then, oh my god, that's what happened. Freaking, oh my god, that was so happy. In top 8, okay, so it was game 3, right? Top 8. I won game 1. I break his board. He had the prank kid set up with the Griffin and and the Pandemonium and the nuke. So I played past that, and then I ended up just nuking his entire board with Satellite. And then yeah, it was game. And then game 2, he's just like sets 4, I think. I can't remember because I ended up Nibiruing him. And then he had double judgment. I was like, oh my god, he jumped on just been doing twice. I was like, okay, it's over. So game 3, there's like 10 minutes left on the clock. So I try to rush through my combo, you know, because like I could easily just could have worn out the clock. Like it's with the way the sequencing is, I can just like at a reasonable pace, because I go beyond like average, right? I go super fast, so I could easily just like take my time, you know, like within reason, of course. But like I mentioned before in previous videos, I like to just speed through things. Okay, I want to develop good habits, otherwise you're gonna be like kind of like a bit start lacking, you know. So then I ended up burning for 300. I was like, oh, I could easily just like, if I wanted to win to time and taking my time and like slow rolled it, I could have just made like a bigger synchro, you know, because I knew the Lampsies only does 500. Like, it's like I can, as long as I do it more than that, I should be fine. Because then I had this set. I had what I have Crystal Wing, Herald, TG. Besides the point. He was done winning. So he goes Lightning Storm, and he gave Herald, and then he goes Pandemonium, and he goes, that's fine. He makes the fusion, and then he goes Chain 1, Chain 2, Chain 3. I negate the fusion. He burns for 500, There's like a minute left, and then he summons his guys, and I'm like, this shouldn't be taking as long as it is. So then I'm like, okay. So then the moment he link summons, I was like, just link summons, so I can just freaking so I can just gravity clutch, so you can just pass, because he had one card left in hand, like one card, that's it. And it was like the Garnet, the Adventurer Garnet, the one that bounces. And I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I lost like this. That was so annoying. Oh, I was so freaking pissed. But anyways, yeah, other than that, it was pretty good. Like it was pretty cool. Like the deck functioned pretty well. The Gamma is a bit up in the air still. I'm not too sure how I feel about it. Then of course the extra deck. The extra deck has not changed. The only thing you can add is a Baron, right? I still don't have a Baron, man. So yeah, you have Satellite Warrior, Heart Red Dragon Archfiend, Chaos Ruler, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Psy-framegear Lord Omega, F8 Don Dragster, Stardust Charge Warrior, TG Hyper Librarian, Junk Warrior, Junk Speeder, Excel Synchron, Herald of the Arclight, Cupid Pitch, Marshall Metal Marcher, and Celestial Double Charge Shaman. Yeah, the deck hasn't changed. Nothing too different. Just mainly just implementing the hand traps based on the way the format is, the way the meta is. It's 42 cards. Just by adding these two, right? You can cut these two and play 40. But I felt like these interactions dealt with whatever the format is doing right now. Because like the main thing is like, oh, they'll go Griffin to protect their board. But when you pair these two together, it doesn't really matter, you know? Because you just, like, before they end, you just do this. And you keep this engraved because you tribute it. Because you go Nibiru, chain this, summon, take tribute off. And you have a level 2 engraved. You can bring them up with Junk Synchron, which is really nice. So you can go Junk Synchron and trigger Doppel, and then go into Herald. Go into Herald, get tokens, and then go Speeder, so you have protection. So it's really nice. And then I wasn't playing the Gamma package because the teleport package because like once again it's oh my god it seems like it's the correct route, right? But I don't know. I just having to have multiple normal summons is annoying. Like of course, like I mentioned, if you open the other portion of the engine, teleport 1-for-1s, you know, like. That's fine, but like when you hard open it's so annoying, man. And then having to play the beat and the summon activate is like more annoying. But yeah, so after Swiss, there was 5 rounds of Swiss, and then top 8. I lost round 1 to Brandon. He was playing a Tri-Brigade Bird Up, or Lyrilisk. Yeah, I just didn't know. I just didn't open good. Like it was really bad. I was like, what the hell? This wasn't meant to be happening, but it just happened. I bricked. Game 1 and then game 2 the same thing. I was like, yeah. Well, game 2 I could have just risked it, but I played it into Nibiru, so I played a safe play. I ended up going into like just an Omega and with a Gamma in your hand to control it that way. So then I went. I was like, this should be a fine, you know, because he had Ash. He asked me to playing on 5 cards. I could Omega something at a particular point and then Gamma at the right time, you know. But yeah, no, it was just I should have just risked it and just gone for it. But yeah, that's what happens. And then then I won all the next 4 rounds and went to top cut. And then now you guys know about the time thing was so annoying. It's okay though, Mike. It's fine. It's okay. But anyways, that's gonna be it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let's subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.